Hello everyone. Let's start with the chapter Animal Kingdom. Okay, for Animal Kingdom of class 11. And my name is Jyoti Vishwas. Fine. So let's start with the chapter. Now we all know that there are different level of organization so that we can understand how the particular organism is performing. Right. So let's look to the first level of organization, that is protoplasmic level of organization. Right. Now this protoplasmic level of organization, here the organism or the cellular body performs all the biological activities. Let me write it down. A single cell. A cellular body means a single cell, right? So a cellular body performs all the biological activities. Fine. For example, protozoa. Okay, now let's look some of the protozoans here. So these are the some of the common protozoans, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next level of organization. Please remember that protoplasmic level of organization are those organizations where a single cell performs all the things, right? Paramecium. You all are familiar with paramecium. Rest we can see afterwards, but this is very common to you all, right? Chalo. So let's move on to the second level of organization, that is cellular level of organization, right? Now, this level of organization, from the name suggests, the cells of the body are present in loose aggregation. Means, so basically the cells, suppose these are the different cells. Okay, they are loosely combined together or aggregate together to perform all the functions. So they all perform all the functions together. Fine. For example, in sponges. Its example is sponges. Fine. So let's look into some of the sponges like Saigon, um, spongilla, right? So these all are the different level of, sorry, they have cellular level of organization. Let's move on to the next tissue level of organization. The cell of the organism unite together to form a tissue. Simple. So suppose these are some of the tissue cells. They combine together to form a tissue, and together they will, form, or they will do same function. So likewise, there will be different tissues who will do different type of function. Okay. For example, suppose this tissue is doing respiration. So respiration. These tissues are doing excretion. Likewise. Okay. Likewise. Okay. So let's see some of the examples. So basically, the examples are coelentrates. Okay, the jellies. Basically, the jellies you might have seen in the sea. Those things. Okay. We are gonna learn about each and every kingdom in detail, but before going to that detail we have to understand the basic things, right? Now let's see the next level of organization, that is organ level of organization. Now here you can see some tissues will combine together to form an organ. Okay, and this organ will perform function, right? So tissues will form different organs and they will perform different functions like platyhelminthes. Okay, so let's see the example here. So platyhelminthes, they are the flatworms. Wala kingdom is platyhelminthes. Okay, now let's move on to next level of organization, that is organ system level of organization. Now the organs combine together to form a function. Okay, so we have seen different organs there. Now these all organs are combined together to perform a function. Okay. And we call it organ system level of organization. uh, Escalmentis, Cook, Otis, they all follow this particular level, organ system level of organization. We, the human being, are also performing this particular thing. So we have heart, we have liver, we have stomach. So these are different organs, right? They came together and formed a particular organ system. Okay, so this is what. So these are the different level of organization. Now we will move on to the next part. The types of digestive systems. Yes, so as we have done just now the organ system level of organization, now we have different types of digestive system. First one is complete digestive system. Always remember, in complete digestive system or complete type digestive system, we have two openings. Okay, that particular organism have two openings, that is, one is mouth and other is anus. Okay, most of the organisms have this type of digestive system, but there are some different type of organisms which serve as incomplete type of digestive systems, right? Sorry. So there only single opening is there. Single opening is there. Okay, and it serve as mouth as well as one opening serve as both mouth and anus. Okay, examples platyhelminthes. Okay, so this type of example is very important in incomplete type of system digestive system, that is platyhelminthes. So they have only one opening, which at some time they will serve as mouth, and when they have to excrete they will serve as anus. Okay, platyhelminthes. So that's all for the types of digestive. Now let's see the type of circulatory system the different organisms may have, right? So let us look into the open type. So they are the open type of circulatory system, or those type of circulatory system where blood is pumped out from the heart. Okay, blood is pumped out of the heart, and the cells and tissue directly bathed in it, and the cells and tissues directly bathed in it. Bathed in it. Now you can say the examples are insects. So we all know the insects, right? Different cockroach, fly. So there the circulatory system is of open type. Now let's talk about closed type of circulatory system. The blood is circulated through series of vessels like veins, है ना? So the blood is circulated through different type of vessels, veins, arteries, capillaries. Spelling mistake is there. Give me 1 second. Capillaries, etc. Right. So what they will do? So basically, the blood is circulated through this series of vessels. Now, examples are all the mammals. Simple thing है. You have to remember it. कि all the mammals will do this type of circulatory system. Close. They have this type of closed circulatory system, right? Okay. Now let's move to the next part of the chapter. That is symmetry. Now in mathematics, we all have learned about symmetry, right? Yes, that is what the symmetry is here also. We are learning about the same symmetry here also. Okay, so all the organisms are divided into two type of symmetry. One is asymmetry, second one is symmetry. Now we all know what is asymmetry. Okay, asymmetry means the body cannot be divided into two identical parts. You will learn this in chemistry also later on. Okay, okay. So yeah, body symmetry is the similarity of parts in different region and direction of the body. Now, so we have two types of body symmetry. One is asymmetry where the organism, the one part will never be equal to the other part, never be similar to the other part. For example, sponges. As you can see here, sponges. Asymmetry is best example are sponges. Just that. Now, in symmetry, one side is identical to the other side and it has different types also. So let's see in detail about symmetry. Now, as you can see symmetry here, so we have three type of symmetry. One is radial symmetry or biradial symmetry, and third one is bilateral symmetry. In some book, you will not find biradial symmetry, but it is also there. That's why it is important to know what is biradial symmetry, right? Now, basically, as I have told you, symmetry divided into two identical halves in one or more planes. Okay, now let's talk about radial symmetry. Okay, please understand it very carefully. Now, when the body of an organism can be divided into two identical halves in any plane, passing through the central axis. For example, this is a circle, this is an organism. Okay, now if I will cut through this particular plane, okay, so this half will equal to this half, right? Now if I will cut this circle like this also, this half will equal to this half and this half will be equal to this half, identical to this half, not equal, identical to this half, right? So this is what radial symmetry is. Let me show you some of the examples. As you can see here, I was talking about this thing. If I will take this as central axis and I will cut it like this. So this half will be identical. If I will cut it like this, all the four halves will be identical to each other. Basically, there will be one central point. Okay. Now, let's check out the thing here. So, if this is an organism, I have cut this organism with this plane. So, this side is equal to this side, LHS equals to RHS. Okay, again, if I'm cutting it this side also, here also you can see two limbs are here, two limbs are here, so it will be identical. All the four parts will be identical to each other, right? So this is radial symmetry. So one of the common example is, just a second, starfish. Let me show you. Okay, so starfish is one of the very common example. Now let's try to cut this particular stuff. Okay, if I will put a line like this, okay, let me put a line like this side is equal to this side. Okay, this side is identical to this side. Fine. Now this is my central axis. Okay, now please watch it very carefully. If I am cutting the starfish like this, is it equal? This side is equal to this side? No, right? Because I have not followed the central line. So you have to remember, you have to follow the central line to make it radially symmetric. Now all the organisms will not obviously follow radial symmetry. Some organisms also, and one of those organisms are starfish. Okay. Chalo. Now let's learn about bilateral symmetry. Body can be divided into two identical halves. That's all. इसमें और कुछ याद नहीं रखना है. You have to just remember, body can be divided into two identical halves. Okay. let's look into some example like butterfly. This half is equal to this half. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about biradial symmetry. Now it is, it is the intermediate where the organism can be divided like radial symmetry, but in two planes only. वहां पर in radial symmetry, if you remember, that particular organism can be, if I will cut it or divide it from any plane, it will be equal in the either side or identical to the either side. But here only two planes we can cut it. For example, I will show you here. Suppose this is the comb jelly. Okay, now if I am cutting it like this side is equal to this side. You can see here, yellow line. So this side is identical to this side. Okay, now again, if I am dividing it like this side is equal to this side, but all the four sides are not identical to each other. If I will cut it like this, it will not okay. If I will cut it like this, it's not okay. Right? So biradial is the intermediate where the organism can be divided like radial symmetry, not completely, but something like radial symmetry, only in two planes. You have to remember that. And examples are comb jelly. चमकता है जो जेली, है ना, सी में चमकता है, हम टीवी में देखते हैं, दैट इज comb jelly. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Okay, and that is thank you. Okay, now we will see the next part in the next week. Thank you all. And if you have any question, please put it down in the comments.